Hi, I'm Lex, and I feel like we're a lot more up close and personal than normal. Whatever. Um, I'm here to update my 50 Shades of Black project pan. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab. You don't have to be in the Facebook group to join. I'm not in the Facebook group. I just heard about this secondhand through a couple YouTubers I watch. I'll link the creators and the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group down below. Yeah, this project just basically requires you to pick 50 items that fit the colour. Every year they do a different colour. They've done like pink and yellow and yeah. This year the theme is black, so anything that has is a black product, black packaging, has black writing on it, you can really stretch the definition as much as you want. And that's kind of what I had to do for a lot of my products, because when I was first starting this project I thought it was a little difficult to find things that had a lot of black on the packaging. Anyway, I wanted to make this project extra difficult for myself apparently, so not only did I pick 50 items, but they all have pretty lofty goals. I have a mix of beauty and makeup products. All of the beauty products are in to finish completely, and all of the makeup products pretty much are in for 50 uses. I wanted to get 50 uses on each makeup item, which is a lot. I only have one face, you know, two eyes, one set of lips, so there's only so much makeup I can wear. And let's see what my progress has been like. As of last month I had finished a couple items, decluttered a couple things that weren't usable anymore, and I'm only really going to update on things that got a lot of major progress in the past month, because I don't see the point in updating you on things just to say I haven't used this, I haven't made any progress with this. Or if there is progress but it's not visible, then I haven't bothered to bring those items in either. Like I have a like hair treatment in a little spray bottle, but because the packaging is all black you can't see how much progress I've made, so I didn't bring that because I don't see the point if you can't like tell that I've made progress. That is nearly finished though, so maybe it'll show up next month when I can tell you that it's empty. Up first, for my beauty section, I've been using this face cream from Jaya. It's like a light day cream, and it's okay. It's not even that much out of date, to be honest. I feel like I've had this for ages, but it only went out of date 2 months ago. It's nice, but it's really light, and I don't think it really gives me the moisturization that I need. So I'm glad to be almost done with it. I've been keeping it upside down because I broke the pump again, for real this time. So it's about down to here, and I'm just like taking it out onto my hand instead of like trying to pump it because the pump is broken. For the nighttime though, I have opened up my other face cream. I was gonna wait until that one was done to open this, but I decided I'll use that one in the day and this one in the night. So I have just started using it a little bit. There's a tiny bit of progress. It smells really interesting. I don't know, it smells really like clean. This is for like dry or sensitive skin, so it is very moisturizing. I don't have dry or sensitive skin, but it's really nice. I like it. I originally rolled a few lotion bars into this project. I had 2 lavender ones, 3 coconut, and 2 aloe and cucumber. But I think I might have accidentally found some more and just been using those as well, because I've got it jotted down that I've used up 3, which should mean that I only have 4 left. But I actually have, I think, 5 or 6 left. So I'm just going to keep using them and see how many I can use up before this project ends, because they're only small, and if I remember to use them quite frequently, they only take me about a week or 2. So maybe I can get through them all before this project is done. I'll just keep using them and keep jotting down how many I've finished. But yeah, I just finished another coconut one, so I've got 2 coconut ones left, which doesn't add up when I originally thought I only had 3. The most exciting progress has been in this eyeshadow palette, which I covered in frog stickers, because this palette doesn't have a name, it doesn't have any information on it anywhere. so I don't even know where it's from. But this palette was in for 50 uses in total, obviously, but it was also in for a no pan left behind, which means I just use every single shade at least once. I did that. I ended up getting 53 uses on this in total because I think I just got so into using certain colours that I was like neglecting a lot of these greens because these greens are all very samey. So to like get the no pan left behind, I had to use it a couple extra times past my 50 use goal. But I have used everything at least once. Specifically, I used this lid setting shade 3 times. I used this lid setting shade 3 times. I used the black 4 times. And then everything else only got 1 or 2 uses. So probably my next focus is going to be this Active Cosmetics palette. It's made up of 4 little interchangeable quads that you can pop out. They're really cute and I really want to buy some more of those, but I don't think they even make them anymore. I don't even know if Active Cosmetics is a brand. I think I say this every time. I'm just gonna have to look into it. Gonna have to remember. Maybe while I'm editing this video I'll remember to Google it, but I have a few pans in this palette. I've been expanding a couple of the pans. I hit this black pan and this gold one here a couple months ago. This is slowly getting decent use. I'm on 46 uses at 50 and I've used every colour once, so not too far to go on this one. Maybe I can hit another pan, but I kind of doubt it. Nothing else has really huge dips. I think the most likely pan is going to be on this purple shade because all of this row already has pans, the black has a pan, and this bright purple has a pan. I was obsessed with this bright purple colour when I was younger, when I first got this palette, because my friend gifted this to me when we were like 13, 14 maybe, and so this palette is probably over a decade old because I don't know how long she owned it before she gave it to me. And yeah, that purple colour has been through a lot because it was my favourite and I used to slap that on and walk into school with bright purple eyelids. The other eyeshadow palette I have is this No Photos Please palette, and I don't super know the shade names off the top of my head because I left my little plastic covering with the shade names at my boyfriend's house. But this is what it's looking like. Nothing too exciting really, not a ton of progress. These are really, really strange shades. They're kind of like soft and creamy, but they're very, very pigmented, so you only really need a little bit to use them. In total, we've hit 25 uses on this palette, so that's halfway. That's pretty decent. And the shades with the most uses are the second one, this sort of light colour here, because that does come off as like a creamy champagne-y shimmer. And this brown here, which actually comes out very greyish on the eyes, but it's nice. I like them all, and I think once I start focusing on this palette, my go-to look is just going to be this lilac and this purple here together, because they look really, really nice. I think that's a really nice eyeshadow look. I've finally been focusing a little bit on my Technic Mega Blush. If you remember, this lightest shade and this darkest shade were too light and too dark, respectively. So I took them both, crushed them up, mixed them up, and now these two are technically both the same Franken, but for the purposes of my inventory and for the purposes of this project, they count as separate shades. Don't worry about it. I've used this first shade 7 times, I've used this second shade 6 times, this third shade 3 times, and this fourth shade 6 times. So altogether that's 22 uses, almost halfway as well. Not too bad, I reckon I can probably get this done before the end of the project. The highlight I'll be trying to focus on a lot now is this Technic Get Gorgeous highlight in the shade 24 Karat Gold. I don't know if you can see, but I'm kind of burrowing a divot in the middle whenever I use this as an inner corner highlight. It's a little bit dark for me, so I have to use a very light hand, and it is honestly like so difficult to look like it's made any progress. It still looks almost brand new with like a couple of brush strokes, so I think this will be in here for a while. I don't think I can hit pan on it or anything super intense like that. I think it'll probably look about the same even after 50 uses. So far we're at 19 uses, so again, not too bad. We're slowly making progress, slowly using it up. I've not made pretty much any progress on my other highlights, so I've not brought them in because I've only used them maybe once this past month. But one thing I have started using a little bit more is this PS eyeshadow. It's so old I don't think it even has a shade name. It also was massively crumbly, so I had to repress it before the start of this project. But I've used it 10 times so far, which is a lot more progress than it was making in the first few months, because I basically didn't touch this at all until like last month. But now it's getting used a couple of times here and there. I do have it on my eyes today along with the grey eyeshadow. I've mixed them both up to make like a taupey colour. This is pretty cool toned. I don't hate it, but I don't feel that strongly about it. It's not very pigmented, but it blends out nicely. It blends out well with other colours, so yeah, I'm sure I'll just keep using it for work or for any neutral looks I might be doing. I repressed some of my loose pigments and powders into eyeshadow pans so that I could put them in my magnetic palette, but because all my palettes stand on their side, I had to take this one out because even though all the other powders and pigments didn't need any binder and they stayed pretty nicely in their pans, this one didn't. As soon as this one dried and like set up, it started crumbling everywhere, and that was just a pain. So I took this out of the palette. This is the Wonder 2 Pure Pigment in the shade, I don't know, gold something. I might put it up on the screen if I remember. But this is very crumbly. It looks really, really nice on the lid though. It's a very punchy gold. It has a lot of pizzazz. It's very glittery. So I really like it. I have 7 out of 50 uses on it, and again I'll be really focusing this because I wear it to work now a little bit, so I'm sure I'll be making big moves in terms of that as well soon. One thing that I will say, these are some of my repressed pigments. I tried to repress the Wonder 2 Caviar Illuminator because it was in these weird little balls that kept getting stuck in my brush. But they didn't repress into one uniform sort of thing. They've kept their shape and they're just... Firstly, this has like no impact. It doesn't look like a very good highlight at all. Secondly, it's just like kind of smushy, but they don't want to, you know, all become a cohesive mass. So I think I'm gonna declutter this because it's just not really usable for me. I don't want to struggle to try and use this for 50 times. I got 7 uses out of that as well, but it's just not working for me even after I've tried to repress it and even after I've tried to mess with it, so I think it's time to just let that go. And if I ever happen to find the Wonder 2 Caviar Illuminator anywhere, I'll know not to buy it, because it didn't work out well for me at all. The other notable things in here, I have the PS Pro Pigment in Aubergine, and this has hit a little bit of a pan, as you can see there. I've used it 5 times, so I don't think I'll be able to get 50 out of this pan, but I can always repress some more because I have a whole tub of it still. The PS Pigment in the shade Black, which is actually more of like a steely grey, I've used this one 6 times, and no pan as of yet because I don't think I was focusing in one spot like I was with the other one. And I think I just generally use less of this when I put it all over my lid. And finally the NYX Foil Play in the shade Booming. And this I've cleared out a whole corner of. It's really nice. I use it over the top of a glitter eyeshadow primer because otherwise it doesn't really stick very well. But again, it's a pigment. I didn't really expect it to. It's like a loose powder, so I didn't expect it to stick super well, but it is really, really pretty and really punchy when you put it over the top of a glitter primer. And I've used this 5 times so far, so yeah. It's a really nice colour and I do really enjoy wearing it. It's a very hot pink. Very nice. I have this little MUA blush and it doesn't look like it has a ton of progress, to be honest. I've worn most of the letters off now, but I have used this 18 times at 50, so progress. Good progress. Yes. It's nice. I've been really liking wearing my Sunshine Orange cheek tint from the Body Shop, then like powdering over my face, doing the rest of my face, and then putting this over the top. Because the orange on its own is way too, well, orange, and I don't really love cool toned pink blushes, but together they make like a nice peachy kind of colour. So that's been kind of my go-to way to use both of those items, is like doing the tint first and then powdering over the top with this, because this cools it down and it makes the orange more of like a nice peachy pink rather than bright orange. Speaking of my cheek tints, the Sunshine Orange one currently standing at 18 uses as well, but this Deep Berry one has finally reached its 50 use goal. I've used this 50 times, exclusively on my cheeks. I know it's a lip and cheek stain, but I don't like the taste of this. It tastes kind of yuck. So I used it only on my cheeks, and I've used it 50 times. So that's done, and I'm really proud of that, actually. I thought that I would struggle more with these, seeing as I basically didn't reach for them for like a few years. But they look really nice, and I think that now that I know how to use them well, I've enjoyed using them a lot, and I would be happy to pull these into projects again to try and finish them up, or just to get more use out of them. I'm not exactly sure how much product is in here, but still quite a bit, I assume. I find that they blend out really nicely into my moisturiser. When I put moisturiser, I put the cheek tint on, then I powder my face, and then do all of like my powder blush, my bronzer and everything else. And I find that it lasts throughout the day, probably because it's more of a tint rather than just a cream blush. But it lasts throughout the whole day and it looks really nice, and it blends out really naturally, so I do like it. I've enjoyed these a lot. I think I bought them for £2.50 each when the Body Shop was having a sale, so that is absolutely worth it, especially since these last a really long time because you only need a tiny little bit. And if they had maybe some other colours, I would be interested in trying them. I might have to have a look and see if they still do those, because these are really nice. Sad news from a couple of my liquid highlights though. These are the PS Liquid Glows in Ice Queen and Golden Glow, and these were really dry when I first brought them into the project. I revived them with some rubbing alcohol and they were okay for a while, but I just think that the formula has changed so much and they're so old and they don't perform as well as they used to, so I would rather just declutter them. I don't want to keep putting them on my face, and they've stopped blending out nicely, so yeah, I think I'm gonna declutter them. That doesn't mean they're gonna completely go in the bin. I will probably put these into like a body lotion or something just to add a bit of shimmer to it and make it a little bit more interesting. I think if I put it in a body lotion and it like mixes with all the other body lotion stuff, it'll be okay, but it's not something I really want to put on my face anymore. So both of these will be decluttered. I got a total of 10 uses on the Ice Queen shade and 8 uses on Golden Glow. I wish I had gotten more use out of these when they were newer and actually usable, but it's also not the end of the world. I think I only paid about £1 each for these, so yeah. They retailed at £3, but I think I got them on sale, so they were like £1 or £1.50 each, so it's not the end of the world. They'll still end up getting used in a body lotion, hopefully, so not too bad. And at least this project is kind of teaching me about some of my older makeup and that it's not really good anymore, and I can clear it out of my collection and make space for new things. Because there's no point keeping so many old things around if they're not working for me anymore. I don't really declutter on a whim. I only really tend to declutter when something is completely unusable. But sometimes it has to be done. Like, some things are just so old and they don't work the way they used to, so there's no point keeping them and trying to work with them if it's just not happening. Real quick. This is my Avon Glimmer Stick eyeliner in the shade Blackest Black. I have used this a couple extra times. This is what it's looking like. I've used it 10 times in total, so I'm not sure if I can get to 50 uses, but we'll try. I don't tend to use it super often, but it looks really nice with my NYX Foil Play, the hot pink one. I put that all over my lid, blend it out a little bit, and then I put this all in my waterline to like have a very smoky eyeliner look, and that looks really good. I've been enjoying that. I've got boring neutral makeup today because I have to go to work, but you know. This is my Body Collection lip balm or lip salve in the berry flavor. This is the only makeup item that I had in to finish, and this is as far as it rolls up. This is all I have left. I will keep going until I hit the plastic, which is about here, so I'll use up all of that. And as soon as I've hit the plastic, I'll call it quits for this project. And I'll probably wait until I make another Franken lip product and just scoop out what's left. Because again, I do want to finish this up completely, even the bit that's stuck within the plastic. But for the purposes of this project, as soon as I hit that plastic, it's done. This is on 187 tracked uses so far. Isn't that crazy? That is insane. It's going to take me about 200 uses to use this up, I'd say. It's nice to know. It's interesting to know that. I have, I think about maybe another 2 or 3 of these specific lip balms, so I'll know how long it'll take me, approximately, to use those up. And then finally, I had my Technic Colour Max Nude Edition lipstick in the shade Poutin' About, and that was like a brownie tone lipstick. It was just a bit too dark for me, it didn't look too nice, and after much deliberation I decided to chuck it into a Franken, and I'll just use the Franken the remaining amount of times and count that towards that lipstick's use. Because again, it was in for 50 uses, and if I don't like it, I'm not going to reach for it, I'm not going to use it 50 times. So I Frankened it with a pink lipstick and a couple like lip balm leftovery bits that I had. So this is the new colour, and it looks pretty nice. There's some big glitter chunks in there, ignore them. But it looks pretty nice. I've been like digging a little hole in there. It's a much more wearable colour. It's a pretty neutral toned pink, pinky brown, mauve. I don't know my colours very well. But it looks nice, it looks good, it looks a lot more natural, and because it has a bit of lip balm in there, it's a bit more sheer as well, so it's been nicer to use. Clearly this has been a good idea because I've used it like an extra 10 times this past month. So it's at 25 uses now, which is really decent. It's at halfway, it's reached the halfway mark, which I didn't think it would last month when I was trying to use up the brown lipstick. I didn't think I'd ever reach my goal on it, but now it seems really doable. It seems like something that I feel like I want to reach for, so that's good. That's all of my progress for this project pan, really. I have to get going to work, so I'm gonna go eat something, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for sticking around for this really long update. Hopefully I can get a couple more things finished next month, and maybe I'll actually count up how many items I've like finished or decluttered and how many items we have left. Because this project is, I think, over halfway now, so it'd be good to see what my stats are looking like. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and have a good day. Bye!